What are we doing here?
So, Dan, we've been tasked with creating a video to help new business owners, but we've been struggling to find the inspiration. But then we thought, you know, we have the perfect person for the job.
Got you.
It's you, by the way.
It's me. Okay, nice, thanks.
So you're wondering if you could help us today?
Absolutely.
In a cup, we've got some questions.
This is filled with paper, not beer. This is filled with beer. Lucky number one. Should the CEO earn the highest salary within my company? I'm of the opinion that they should not. I think, speaking from experience, both Aaron and myself have definitely not been the highest paid employees at in the business, and I'm happy to share that. I think the main reasons are that from the start of when you, I guess, start raising money, and from the start of running a business, you want to make sure that you're allocating the capital in the right places, and sometimes that's not in your own pocket. The majority of the time, that is not in your own pocket. So what I would say is that in the very early days, you end up paying yourself very little until you find other profitability or you find a little bit more cash. And at that stage, there are a whole lot of different protocols around what you can actually pay yourself. So that is actually whether you have to have it written into your docs, so your shareholders' docs, and you have to get that approved by directors. But I think it just sends a great message across the entire board, really, to say that we do value our people almost more than we value ourselves. We're always making sure that we're allocating the capital that we have in the right areas. And there are some pretty famous examples of this as well, I'd say. Facebook. The Zuck didn't pay himself anything in the early days. I still think doesn't pay himself too much. You might have to fact check that. You do still need to make a living. So I think as the CEO or the CEO of the business, you do still need to make sure that you can pay your bills. But at the end of the day, you need to do what is in the best interest of the company. And that can sometimes mean not paying yourself as much as your employees. Question number 2. Should I grant equity to my employees? Now that is a no-brainer. I think that is something that you, as a startup, have to do. It works on so many different levels. The main reason being that you want to make sure that everyone has skin in the game. I think it just works, yeah, as I said, on so many different levels. One, you make sure that everybody feels that, like, when we win as a company, everybody wins. And it's not just, I guess, making videos or writing code to help the CEO and the COO to make money, but at the end of the day, what you are doing is actually building a company for yourselves as well, because you are equity incentivized through options. One of the main bits, so to make sure that you guys feel like you're a part of it. On the flip side, as the business owner, is also a really good way to get good talent, because a lot of good talent is looking for the bigger win rather than just what they get paid every day. So I think you guys will be of that mentality. I think a lot of other people are of that mentality, and it is a really sort of competitive way to make sure that at the end of the day, you're in it for the long haul too, not just to get paid, but also to get behind a mission that we're all obviously moving in the same direction. And at the end of the day, we're going to get a big payout when we have $1 billion business. Question number 3, coming at you. Should I give my employees the option to work from home? Interesting. Okay, this is a really interesting one, I would say, because my views on this have changed quite a bit over the past few years, obvious circumstances, as to what has made me change those views. Prior to COVID, both Aaron and myself were very in-office people. Couldn't necessarily see the whole working from home thing being a thing, I guess, post-COVID. Throughout COVID, we understood that you can do work as efficiently from home as you can from the office. So I think if you're not now allowing your employees to work from home, you're gonna die a quick death. There are a lot of different considerations, obviously, for those newer members of the team. So I think what we're really trying to do is ensure that businesses allow their employees to work from where they do their best work. That's essentially what we say. So if you do your best work from home, that's from home. If you do your best work from the office, that's from the office. And there is that consideration, if you are a junior member of the team, to make sure that you are still learning from everybody else, and you don't feel like you can't reach out to them on something like Slack or a communication device that you guys use internally. So a big part of what the whole remote first culture needs to be about is ensuring that everyone is up to speed with how their teams operate. Everyone is up to speed with the training that's available to them, and ensuring that you also have those touch points when everybody does come into the office. We have a monthly all hands, which is super cool. Everyone comes in once a month, and it's a big sort of day, and everybody, I think, really likes it. Gets to know everybody else. We even fly everyone in from all around the UK as well as all around Europe. And it just becomes a time where you can just bounce those ideas off people. So having that sort of face-to-face, structured face-to-face is also really important. But to be more inclusive and make sure that you are hiring the best talent, I think the future means that we will all be having to work from home at some point in time, even though if you don't want to. So Aaron and myself do still come into the office pretty much every day, but not everyone does. And you need to cater to everybody throughout the UK now. Número 4. Question number 4. Okay, question number 4. Can I start a business that directly competes against an established company? One, I think that is probably not the most succinct answer because you absolutely can. We are probably firmly in that category, I would say. Ember is a business that is trying to revolutionize the accounting and tax space. However, the accounting and tax software space is quite a crowded space. And essentially we do compete against many a big player. I guess we go against the likes of Xero and QuickBooks and Free Agent, but what you do need is a different angle. So essentially what we're looking at from the lens of is changing an entire industry in that we're not just your accounting and tax software, but we are also your accountant, which is where you obviously introduce a hybrid new offering to the market, which is something that hasn't been done before, and that is what you need to find. So it doesn't matter if you do go up against competition that already exists, but what is really important is that you have your own angle and you are essentially carving out a new part of that market for yourself. Otherwise, if you go toe-to-toe with those giants who have the budgets, it is a really tough game, and if you don't have an angle to get yourself into that market, then you do face an uphill battle. So I would say it is possible, and we have proven that it is possible, but you need to make sure that you find your niche, or you find your hybrid, or you find your new cut into that market, and really, really hone your mind. Thanks for tuning in to part 1 of this video. We've split it up into 2 different parts to make it a little bit more digestible for you. So if you've learnt anything today, please subscribe and tune in for part 2 next week.